before it was revealed to be 664. In this country, Nigeria. Now we start doing things in this country on our own, in the favor of our own selfish interests. The politics in this country has made men and women of this advanced country to be selfish and greedy. I could remember while growing up, the textbooks my elder brothers used in the primary school level, I still made use of them. While I joined the secondary school, the textbooks that were used by my predecessors, we ran to them in order to use those textbooks to facilitate our own secondary school career. Immediately we left the secondary level, the policy of education became a deadlock. Private school has made the educational system or the educational setup in this country to be a mess to a reasonable extent because of their greed and selfish interest. Somebody who just left primary one can no longer leave the book for somebody entering primary one from the same household. The hypertension of school textbooks and cardigans and whatsoever as school is resuming has become an headache, has become a problematic issue in this country. A child of nursery 1 is paying the bills of almost 150,000 for somebody who is not even. Oh, Nigeria. I cry. I feel like crying for this country. Somebody that is still breastfeeding 6 months baby is now paying 150,000 for school fees. $150,000 for school fees. What does the baby know? Can he assimilate anything at his level? Now somebody that is entering primary 1 from KG3 is doing graduation ceremony and is paying bills of graduations. Not just money, he's paying big hell out of money because he's graduating. What is the benefit of a baby from the nursery that is graduating to primary school, not even graduating from secondary school? While we were leaving the secondary school, we knew that those who wrote WAEC do validatory service after graduating from secondary school. That is to say they have finished their WAEC or NECO exams. But now somebody that just finished GS3 exam is signing out. Primary 6 is signing out. KG3 is signing out, for crying out loud. Where are we headed to? Now as a worker in this country, I'm having a hypertension, high BP. Because of school fees I want to pay as soon as school resume. Then the question is, how much is the minimum wage for each worker in this country? According to the federal government, it says 70,000 naira. Somebody heading 70,000 naira is preparing to pay the bills of 2.5 thousand naira. Let me not use million for secondary school. The person that is receiving 70,000 naira is about paying 250,000 naira for somebody that is just entering JS1 in this country. Where are we headed to? Thanks to the government who have gone back to their drawing board to have a sense of thinking, to reason so fast to curb these cacaworms that are eating the masses. Food is rising on one side, educational bills is rising on one side, house rent has become IA wire. Nothing that the common man can afford anymore in this country. When we were growing up, you can go to a landlord and you rent a house, but now you need a caretaker, you need agents to come and pay to come and pay agent fee and commission in order for you to rent one room. Before you realize how much you are paying for one room, you are already talking about 500,000. You see the irony of life. Agent fee, to rent one room now is over 300,000 naira. Now, for you to buy plates of garri in the market now, you need about 2,500. Something we were buying for just 300 naira some years back is now over 2,500. Can we just understand the problem we are facing in this country and resolve it once and for all? The Nigeria Constitution said food regulatory law is in place. Government can regulate the price on food, but government are regulating the price of diesel to suit their pocket. The less privileged are dying every day from hunger and malnutrition, but the government of our people, by the people and of the people, are getting richer and making profit from what? From crude oil. A man from the River Nile area where oil is being exploited cannot afford the school fees of his child and his oil well-rich communities. When I say I feel like crying, it's not because of me, it's because of the general public. We have crude oil that is enough to make the masses of this country to live a comfortable life like the Great Britain, but rather we are living like what? Cockroach and rat, looking for the hidden falling bones to survive. Now we live at the mercy of our politicians. It was just this evening I saw the memo from the state government that they bound graduation ceremony for pre-nursery, nursery, primary, secondary. It's only for those who are of a higher certificate that is to be graduating. Kudos to the government of Nigeria of recent, whom their brain has started functioning as what? As human being. As human being. Come to think of it, government policy has made the private sector to live life that is not worth living. For example, now government policy on taxation on private sector is eating deep onto them. So the private sector are looking for a way to balance the equation. You take from me, I take from them. When Edo State bound the graduation ceremony from these primary and secondary institutions and some other things, we thought it was only going to be in that state alone. But thank God, other states are emulating and copying, photocopying, like they used to say, what is happening in other states. I want to beg the government of our country that we should go back to the policy of education of 1998/1999, where 664 educational principle was inevitable. The policy then was categorically stated that there are some certificates that are of a higher authority. With them, you can rule this country and contest and be contested and be voted for. Because of selfish interest, when you have your primary school certificate, you can no longer contest election in this country. The constitution, when you have SSC, you can contest for election. Primary school leaving certificate, you can contest for election. But now, they are using money to deprive those who want the office, who have the temerity, who has the guts on how to lead the masses, by sending them back because of the price of forms. I'm saying all this because I'm giving kudos to the government who have come back to their senses in some areas by solving the problem facing this country in education. You know that the BLC certificate in Nigeria, when you take it out of this country, you will still go and restart education in that country you get to before you can start working if you are a graduate. Nobody value the certificate of Nigeria in other foreign country. Rather, they will say go back to the elementary level and do a refresher course before you can be given a entitlement, which is job in the UK. And when somebody is striving Those who wants to teach the children is hungry. The children they want to teach is hungry. How did they learn? Now, make we see wetin dey happen. LASU, Guidance, and some other people, they are on strike protesting because of unpaid bills. I want to beg our government, they should give what belongs to Caesar and to God unto God. I'm pleading. The educational system we met in this country while we are growing up is not the same thing again. We are degenerating our educational system. We are going backward. Before now, we used to hear that nurses and doctors in Nigeria, when they get to UK, they become experts and expertise there. But now, they are really being trained. There is a man from Delta who happens to go to Israel. He's one of the weaponists in Israel. And here we are today. We can no longer can our scientists, can they invent anything new? Science student, when we were growing up, we were saying we'll go to the science and become something very unusual. But today now, graduating as a medical doctor, riding keke on that bridge in Obalede. Graduate as a lawyer, you are looking for agent work you want to do. What an irony of life. Make una get sense, make this government get sense, make dem make this work out. When the masses are gone, you cannot rule yourself. You are ruling the masses, not yourself. So get sense and do what is obtainable.